And here are the crypto top headlines. Ripple fully licensed to provide digital payment token services in Singapore. Next, SEC asks U.S. judge to reject Coinbase's dismissal. Also, JP Morgan crypto lead says 99.9% of conversations are about tokenized assets, not crypto. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you. We are a new channel here on YouTube and would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. It does help support the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline, Ripple fully licensed to provide digital payment token services in Singapore. Earlier this year, Ripple received in-principle approval of its Major Payments Institution, or MPI, license application from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, or MAS. 4 months on, Ripple is thrilled to announce that its Singapore subsidiary, Ripple Markets APAC Pte. Limited, has secured its full MPI license to provide digital payment token services in Singapore. This license underscores the real-world utility of crypto solutions for businesses and financial institutions alike, marking an important step towards wider adoption of digital assets. Singapore is known as a leader in pioneering digital asset regulation, making it an ideal location for businesses and financial institutions to harness the power of crypto for cross-border payments, crypto liquidity, and central bank digital currencies. Since establishing Singapore as our Asia-Pacific headquarters in 2017, the country has been pivotal to Ripple's global business. We have hired exceptional talent and local leadership, doubling headcount over the past year, and plan to continue growing our presence in a progressive jurisdiction like Singapore, said Brad Garlinghouse, Chief Executive Officer of Ripple. Under MAS leadership, Singapore has developed into one of the leading fintech and digital asset hubs, striking balance between innovation, customer protection, and responsible growth. Historically, Singapore has experienced staggering periods of transformation by leaning into technology to support economic growth, invite new investments, and even streamline government services. In 2022, Singapore secured the number 4 spot on the IMD World Digital Competitiveness Ranking, which measures a country's ability to adopt new technologies. Regulatory clarity is a major contributor to Singapore's success, proving pivotal to ensuring security and trust for businesses and institutions to explore crypto solutions. While some countries are pumping the brakes on crypto innovation, Singapore is staying well ahead of the curve by future-proofing for the inevitable. Global finance leaders agree that digital assets are here to stay. 90% believe blockchain and digital assets will have a significant or massive impact on business, finance, and society in the next 3 years, and almost half of Asia-Pacific finance leaders plan to use crypto for cross-border payments. In general, payments across Asia-Pacific will continue to trend increasingly digital. Cashless transaction volume is set to increase 109% by 2025, and Ripple will continue to prioritize this region for adoption of its global payments solutions. Our next top headline, SEC asks U.S. judge to reject Coinbase's dismissal motion. The SEC has requested a federal judge to deny Coinbase's motion to dismiss its lawsuit, arguing that the exchange was aware that the cryptocurrencies it issued should be classified as securities. On October 3rd, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission lodged a petition in a New York district court. The SEC alleged that Coinbase was aware that the cryptocurrencies it offered for sale qualified as securities under the Howey Test law. The SEC stated, Each crypto asset issuer invited investors, including purchasers on Coinbase's platform, reasonably to expect the value of their investment to increase based on the issuer's broadly disseminated plan to develop and maintain the asset's value. The SEC also mentioned that Coinbase made a mistake by using the Ripple Labs court ruling, where XRP tokens were not considered securities, as a basis. They cited another recent ruling involving Terraform Labs. In June, the SEC sued Coinbase, alleging that the company was operating without proper registration. 2 months later, Coinbase requested a federal court in Manhattan to dismiss the case, arguing that the SEC lacked authority to pursue the lawsuit because the digital assets and services in question did not meet the criteria for securities. The SEC has been involved in legal battles with major crypto companies in the United States, including Binance and Coinbase. Legal disputes often arise over whether digital assets should be categorized as securities or not. The SEC holds the belief that many tokens should be classified as securities and must be registered. However, a few crypto companies do not agree with this viewpoint. Due to the regulators' actions, the crypto industry in the U.S. has been adversely impacted. Some companies, including Ripple, have in the past said they were considering moving their operations to other crypto-friendly destinations, especially in Southeast Asia. I wanted to pull up a response here on Twitter from Paul Grewal, who is the Chief Legal Officer at Coinbase, and here are his tweets. The SEC Gov just filed its opposition to our motion to dismiss their case against Coinbase. It's more of the same old, but don't just take my word for it. Take a look for yourself. A preliminary note, over and over again, the SEC makes sweeping claims of what the law is/must be without any legal citation. The assets we list on our platform are not securities and are not within the SEC's jurisdiction. Court decisions over the past several months have made that plain. The SEC's arguments today would mean that everything from Pokemon cards to stamps to Swifty bracelets are also securities. As Representative Ritchie made so clear last week, that is simply not the law, nor should it be. The SEC's continued regulation by enforcement approach also ignores the voice of the 52 million strong crypto constituency in the U.S. that wants rules and regulations for this innovative tech. Last week, founders from 40-plus crypto companies around the country joined at Stand with Crypto in D.C. to tell their representatives to pass legislation that protects consumers, enables innovation, and creates jobs and opportunities in the U.S. We look forward to filing our reply on October 24th. As always, we appreciate the court's consideration of our case. Our next top headline, JP Morgan Crypto Lead says 99.9% of conversations are about tokenized assets, not crypto. JP Morgan's blockchain and crypto lead also went in depth into the banking giant's private on-chain activity. The head of JP Morgan's blockchain division, Tyrone Lobban, yesterday told attendees at CD Data's Digital Asset Summit in London that 99.9% of his conversations with clients are about tokenized forms of traditional financial instruments, not crypto. There is a huge conversation around how to bring traditional assets on-chain, he said during yesterday's panel. When you look at the activity that has happened over the past year, almost every global bank, broker-dealer, or asset manager is doing something either on a permissioned blockchain or a public one. Lobban says these early experiments might be best termed pilots, but the intention is very clearly there. On the cryptocurrency side of things, he blamed the recent spate of industry bankruptcies for cooling interest and said some clients just do not necessarily want to be involved right now. Lobban also commented on Bitcoin's recent price stability, saying the world's favorite cryptocurrency is maybe more like a stablecoin nowadays, before adding, the days of massive returns on Bitcoin are possibly behind us for a while. Formed in 2020, JP Morgan's blockchain arm, Onyx, claims to be the world's first bank-led blockchain. To date, the investment banking giant has used it to tokenize traditional securities for instantaneous exchange. Speaking at the CC Data panel, Laban said that U.S. banks wanting to use public blockchains face various bureaucratic hurdles and red tape due to the current regulatory climate. To circumvent this, JP Morgan established Onyx, an Ethereum-based private blockchain. While this means that JP Morgan team can write smart contracts for public blockchains, Laban still feels like crypto lacks interoperability. Ultimately, what you're likely going to need is some sort of connectivity between these platforms or some sort of broader layer, one that financial institutions can actually interact with. Other financial institutions that run nodes and tokenize assets on Onyx right now include Goldman Sachs, DBS, BNP, and a number of others that he declined to name. As an investment bank, JP Morgan has credit lines that it extends to its institutional clients. For certain clients, this process may be too costly because while JP Morgan's credit line is free to use, borrowers still have to hold enough assets to prove to regulators that they can meet their obligations in times of stress, or in the event that the bank withdraws its credit line. Laban says that through Onyx, JP Morgan's clients have been able to enter repurchase agreements called repos, where they put up collateral in the form of tokenized treasuries to borrow against. They can be very specific about the length of time they actually need, so they can borrow $1 billion for 3 hours or $500 million for 5 hours, he said. Where the technology shines, says Laban, is that we're able to use smart contracts to ensure the delivery versus the payment, the exchange of assets for cash at the right time, and we can be very precise with the trade terms that both parties are agreeing to. So this concludes our top headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.